Most people crack long before life really puts them to the test. And it's not because life is too brutal. It's because their minds are too soft. They let their emotions call the shots. They let other people's opinions define who they are. They let fear make their decisions for them. And the moment real pressure hits, they fall apart. But there are people, a rare few, who figured something out that most people will never understand. The strongest mind isn't the nicest one. It's the most controlled one. Your mind is your throne. And if you're not the one running it, someone else is. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Becoming mentally untouchable doesn't just happen. You don't wake up one morning and suddenly stop caring what people think. You build that mindset, brick by brick, through discipline, through detachment, through deliberate strategy. The world is always going to try to break you. Rejection, betrayal, failure. All of it is coming. And most people, they fold. But you are not most people. You're here because you're done letting your emotions run your life. You're here because you're ready to own your reactions, own your focus, and own your peace. Like a king who rules his kingdom quietly, but completely. So before we get into this, ask yourself one honest question. Do you control your mind? Or does the world control it for you? Because that answer right there determines your entire destiny. If you let the world control your emotions, you will always be a victim of it. But if you take control of your own mind, nothing can touch you. Not failure, not betrayal, not chaos. Every challenge, every insult, every test, it'll only make you sharper. Say this out loud right now and drop it in the comments. From today, I choose strength over emotion. Here are the 7 lessons that will make you mentally untouchable. Lesson 1. Control the narrative. All power starts with perception. The way people see you determines how they treat you, how much they trust you, and yes, how much they fear you. This world is not run by truth. It's run by appearances. People don't look at your intentions. They look at your presentation. They don't dig into your mind. They react to your image. In a world obsessed with how things look on the surface, the person who controls the narrative controls reality itself. You could be the most intelligent, skilled, and capable person in the room. But if you allow other people to tell your story, you've already lost the battle before it even started. The most dangerous thing you can do is believe that the truth will protect you on its own. It won't. Truth is often too quiet, too easy to ignore. The world responds to what it sees, not what actually is. People size you up before you ever open your mouth. They measure your strength by your posture, your tone, how calm you are, how much mystery you carry. If you look unsure of yourself, the world will eat you alive. But if you look controlled, they'll think twice before they ever try to test you. To become mentally untouchable, you have to become the author of your own story. You have to deliberately shape how people interpret your silence, your actions, and even your mistakes. Stop over-explaining yourself. The moment you start defending yourself, you've already given away your authority. A calm silence is louder than desperate words. Let them assume. Let them guess. Let them wonder. The less they know, the more power you hold. Every room you walk into, there's an invisible war going on. A war of perception. The loud ones are fighting for attention. The smart ones are fighting for control. When you walk in, you don't need to announce who you are. Let your presence do it for you. People sense confidence way before they understand it. They feel authority before they even hear it. Every gesture, every pause, every calm look sends one message. I am in control. You don't need anyone's validation. You need precision. Reputation is the foundation of all power. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Very few ever experience who you really are. Never forget that. Look strong even when you're uncertain. Look unshaken even when you're under pressure. Control your tone. Control your gaze. Control your energy. Your silence should always speak louder than other people's noise. When people try to put a label on you, don't react. Rewrite the label through your actions. When they underestimate you, let your results speak for you. When they question you, respond with calm confidence and nothing more. Control isn't manipulation. It's direction. Deciding how your energy and your image come across in a chaotic world. Once you master this, you'll stop chasing validation and start commanding respect. You'll stop living by how other people define you and start defining yourself. Because the person who owns their story owns their destiny. Drop this in the comments right now. I control my image. Lesson 2. Detach from emotion. Emotion is the easiest weapon the world uses to control you. The second someone can trigger your anger, your sadness, or your fear, they own you. People who react emotionally are predictable, and predictable people are easy to manipulate. Detachment is not being cold. It's strength in disguise. It's the ability to watch chaos unfold without ever letting it get inside your head. When you detach, you stop wasting energy on things that don't deserve your attention. You stop reacting to every insult, every disappointment, every fake expectation. You start responding with control instead of emotion. And in that moment, you become genuinely dangerous. Most people are proud of being real. They think showing emotion freely is a sign of strength. But emotion without control is vulnerability wearing the mask of honesty. When you react too fast, you expose your triggers. You show people exactly where they can hit you. They feel it. And even if they're not fully aware of it, they will push those buttons to control you. Manipulation doesn't work through power. It works through emotional access. The wise man acts immediately on what the foolish man eventually realizes, but only when it serves his purpose. The fool reacts in the moment. The wise man stays still and waits for the right time. Detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling things. It means you stop being controlled by what you feel. You can feel pain without drowning in it. You can recognize betrayal without letting it destroy your peace. Here's the truth. You are not your emotions. You are the one watching them. Every emotion is like a passing storm, loud, wild, temporary. Don't chase the thunder. Stand still and let it pass. That stillness, that's power. Think about it like this. Two people face the exact same insult. One explodes in anger, losing control of his image and his words. The other just looks at the person calmly and smiles. The second person wins without saying a single word. He didn't react, he redirected. He didn't fight, he observed. That is psychological mastery. It's not about hiding what you feel. It's about owning it. You decide what leaves your mind. You choose when to respond. You pick when to move and when to stay still. That level of control is what separates the people who lead from the people who get led. When your emotions serve your purpose, use them. When they weaken your position, silence them. Emotions should be working for you, not enslaving you. Once you stop reacting to everything, life gets quieter. You stop wasting energy trying to prove yourself. You stop explaining yourself to people who'll never understand. You start seeing patterns instead of just problems. You stop taking everything personally and stop using it as information. That's when you start winning, quietly. When you master emotional detachment, no insult, no betrayal, no failure can truly shake you. You might bend, but you never break. Drop this in the comments. I feel, but I do not fall. Lesson 3. Expect betrayal. Trust strategy. Betrayal isn't an exception in life. It's a pattern. The sooner you accept that loyalty is temporary, the faster you'll stop being shocked when people turn against you. Loyalty lasts only as long as it benefits someone. When that benefit runs out, so does their devotion. To survive in a world built on self-interest, you have to replace emotional trust with strategic awareness. The wise person doesn't rely on promises. They build systems that protect them when those promises get broken. Most people suffer because they expect consistency from a world that runs on convenience. They think loyalty is sacred, but in reality, it's conditional. Expecting betrayal doesn't make you paranoid, it makes you prepared. People will shift their loyalty whenever it benefits them, and you should never take that personally. Betrayal isn't always pure evil. Sometimes it's just human nature doing what it always does. When you truly accept that, you stop reacting with anger and start responding with clarity. You stop seeing betrayal as a tragedy and start seeing it as information. It shows you who chooses advantage over integrity, who pretends out of need, who will abandon you when the wind changes. The most strategic minds don't rely on loyalty. They rely on structure. They don't tie their survival to people. They tie it to systems. When you trust emotion alone, you make yourself dependent. When you trust design, you make yourself independent. Always have a plan that works, even if everyone walks away from you. Always position yourself so that no single person has the power to destroy your peace or your progress. That's not cold. That's intelligent. You don't build walls around your heart. You build gates. Gates that only open for those who have proven their loyalty through time and adversity. And even then, you never forget that people can change. That's not cynicism. That's power. When you expect betrayal, you stop fearing it. You become mentally untouchable because nothing catches you off guard. Your strategy becomes your shield. Your clarity becomes your armor. Because the person who anticipates betrayal never bows to it. Drop this in the comments. I trust strategy, not sympathy. Lesson 4. Look calm. Think cold. In a chaotic world, calmness is the most intimidating form of strength that exists. Most people think staying composed means being soft, but it's actually a weapon of psychological warfare. When you appear calm while everyone else is panicking, you project superiority without saying a single word. The calm mind sees what the restless mind misses entirely. The cold thinker spots patterns that are hidden behind emotion. And when you can look completely at peace in the middle of disorder, people start to fear your control. They sense that nothing can shake you. And that mystery becomes dominance. When people expect you to fall apart and you simply don't, their illusion of power over you collapses completely. Calmness terrifies unstable people. It makes impulsive people hesitate. They can't understand why you won't react, why you won't argue, why you won't crumble. Your silence becomes a mirror. It reflects their chaos right back at them. Your stillness exposes their lack of control. To look calm, you have to train your inner voice first. Every irritation, every insult, every unexpected problem, meet it with one question. Does reacting help me win? If the answer is no, you stay silent. That silence will unsettle people far more than anger ever could. A calm response ends arguments faster than aggression. The cold mind doesn't win through words. It wins through energy. Even when you're surrounded by hostility, keep your tone slow, your eyes steady, your movements minimal. Confidence is communicated through stillness, not through noise. This lesson isn't about hiding emotion. It's about mastering how you display it. What people see should always serve your advantage. Look rational when everyone else is irrational. Smile when they expect rage. Move slowly when they rush. Show them that you are never moved, unless you choose to be. Over time, that aura becomes armor. Nobody knows your breaking point because you never reveal it. You become the calm in every storm, the observer in a room full of reactors, the strategist in a world full of victims. Drop this in the comments. My calmness is my power. Lesson 5. Keep power in silence. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is control in its purest form. The more you talk, the more you reveal. Every unnecessary word becomes a window into your mind. And once people can read you, they can predict you. Power is preserved through mystery. Silence isn't a lack of communication. It's a deliberate strategy of dominance. When you speak less, people start imagining more. They fill your silence with their own fears, their own doubts, their own assumptions. And that uncertainty becomes your advantage. The quiet person is never ignored.
They are studied, analyzed, whispered about. The world underestimates the person who speaks little, right up until they act. And by the time they do, it's already too late to stop them. Words are cheap. Everyone uses them to seek validation. But real power never explains itself. When you justify your choices, you give other people the authority to judge them. When you argue, you're admitting that someone else's opinion matters to you. Silence destroys that illusion. It sends one clear message: you don't owe anyone an explanation. People don't fear what they can predict. They fear what they can't interpret. The person who listens more than they speak becomes the most dangerous presence in any room, because everyone is constantly wondering what they're thinking and what they're planning. To master silence, you first have to let go of the urge to prove yourself. Most people talk to protect their ego. They explain, defend, and overstate to appear in control. But every single explanation leaks insecurity. You have to get comfortable with pauses, with the tension of unspoken words, with letting other people drown in their own noise. When you stay silent, you force others to expose their own thoughts. You learn their weaknesses while protecting yours. Silence turns conversations into mirrors that reflect the truth of others, but never yours. In negotiations, in arguments, in confrontations, silence bends the battlefield. It makes the impatient reveal too much. It makes the arrogant lose control. Every second you hold your tongue, they show more of their strategy. Silence is not the absence of power.
It is its concentration. Like a blade in its sheath, ready, but not yet drawn. Never underestimate how silence shifts perception. A person who rarely speaks is assumed to think deeply. Their words carry weight because they are scarce. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to be the one who doesn't need to speak. Keep your plans hidden. Keep your feelings unreadable. Keep your words minimal. When people can't decode you, they can't defeat you. Silence keeps you untouchable. Drop this in the comments. My silence speaks power. Lesson 6. Master the art of absence. Presence loses its value when it becomes constant. The more available you are, the less you are respected. Scarcity is the essence of influence. A leader who shows up too often becomes ordinary, but one who appears selectively becomes a legend. Absence is not withdrawal, it's strategy. It creates distance that breeds curiosity, authority, and desire. When people can't always reach you, they start to assign value to you. They replay your words. They analyze your silence. They look forward to your return. And that anticipation is power. Every great strategist understands timing matters more than frequency. Show up too much and your presence loses its weight. Show up selectively and every entrance feels like an event. The weak crave constant attention because they're afraid of being forgotten. The strong withdraw deliberately to make their presence heavier when they do appear. People are driven by two things: love and fear. Absence can create both. When you disappear, people either miss you or fear losing your favor. Both of those emotions give you control. Constant exposure kills mystery. When people think they know everything about you, they stop valuing you. But when you're just slightly out of reach, they start imagining more than they actually know. And that imagination builds your image far more than visibility ever could. To master absence, you have to learn to pull back without explanation. Don't announce your silence. Don't justify your distance.
Simply step away when necessary and return only when your presence serves a purpose. The people who notice your absence reveal who genuinely values you. The people who don't reveal who never really did. Stepping back strategically also filters loyalty. The people who stay consistent during your silence, those are the ones truly aligned with you. Absence becomes a test of character. It separates the curious from the committed. You don't need to be everywhere to be felt. You need to be remembered. Your absence should speak louder than other people's presence. Let people wonder where you are, what you're thinking, why you stepped back. That uncertainty keeps you relevant even when you're gone. It makes your silence echo longer than their noise. When you master the art of absence, you command attention without effort. You become more than just a person. You become an idea, something that lingers even when it's unseen. The world chases what it can't have and respects what it can't control. Drop this in the comments. My absence amplifies my power. Lesson 7. Rule your mind. Rule everything. Every form of power, every single one, starts inside the mind. If you cannot command your own thoughts, no strategy, no wealth, no influence will ever last. The greatest victories are won in silence, within the walls of your own mind. This world belongs to those who can direct their focus while everyone else drowns in distraction. To rule your mind is to master every battlefield. Because every external challenge you face begins as an internal reaction. The strongest person is not the one who controls other people. It's the one who controls themselves when everything is trying to shake them. When you own your inner world, nothing on the outside can truly touch you. Most people lose the fight long before it starts. They let anxiety set their direction. They let emotion make their decisions. Their thoughts move like leaves in the wind, driven by circumstance, guided by fear. Here's the thing about your environment. It reflects your mind. If your world is chaotic, it's because your mind allows chaos. If your life is full of noise, it's because your thoughts are unguarded. Control begins with awareness. Observe your thoughts without immediately judging them. Train them like soldiers who have to follow orders. Your mind is both your servant and your master. If you fail to govern it, it will betray you. Every doubt, every fear, every insecurity will rise and take over your decisions. But once you learn to separate yourself from impulsive thinking, your mind becomes a weapon sharper than anything else you could ever possess. Real mental strength is not born from aggression. It's born from composure. The disciplined thinker moves slower,
but every move lands deeper. They don't let the past haunt them. They don't let the future overwhelm them. They live in deliberate, conscious control of the present moment. Mental mastery requires constant training. You have to learn to replace fear with logic, emotion with intention, noise with silence. Every time your mind drifts toward weakness, pull it back through self-command. Every moment you resist an impulse, you grow stronger. The world cannot influence someone who is internally aligned. When insults come, when betrayal hits, when failure arrives, they lose their power because your mind refuses to give them meaning. Power doesn't come from fighting the world. It comes from mastering how your mind interprets it. Every empire ever built began as one disciplined thought. Every downfall began as one distracted one. When your mind is ruled by fear, the world manipulates you through it. When your mind is ruled by strength, no manipulation can succeed. Rule your mind the way a king rules his kingdom. Protect it from invasion by ignorance, by doubt, by fear. Feed it with discipline. Guard it with focus. And let silence be its throne. Once you rule your thoughts, you don't chase peace anymore. You become it. My mind obeys only me. Being mentally untouchable does not mean you feel nothing. It does not mean you become cold, heartless, or disconnected from the world around you. It means that nothing, no insult, no betrayal, no failure can control you. You become the master of your reactions, the owner of your focus, the architect of your own peace. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every conflict becomes data. Every obstacle becomes a chance to reinforce your control. This power is earned through discipline, observation, and strategy, not through luck or temporary favor. When you apply these 7 lessons, you don't just survive in this world. You move through it with authority, with clarity, and with a calm that cannot be stopped. Remember this. Control begins from within. When you rule your mind, no external circumstance can shake your foundation. Detachment protects you. Silence amplifies you. Absence increases your value. Calmness intimidates. Strategy shields you from betrayal. And perception shapes the reality around you. Each lesson reinforces the next, building a fortress of mental strength that cannot be broken. The untouchable mind does not react. It dominates through presence, through preparation, and through patience. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. Now, before you go, if these 7 lessons hit something deep inside you, if even one of these ideas made you stop and think, then I need you to do one thing right now. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for you. Because the person who watched this video today is not the same person who walked in. And the journey you just started, building a stronger, sharper, more disciplined mind, that journey doesn't end here. Every single week, we go deeper into the psychology of power, mental strength, and the mindset that separates those who lead from those who follow. And if you're serious about becoming untouchable, you can't afford to miss what comes next. So hit subscribe, ring the notification bell, so you never miss a lesson. And right now, in the comments, drop your affirmation. Tell the world where you stand today. From today, I choose strength over emotion. I control my image. I feel, but I do not fall. I trust strategy, not sympathy. My calmness is my power. My silence speaks power. My absence amplifies my power. And the most powerful one of all, my mind obeys only me. Let those words echo inside you. Let them settle. And commit, starting right now, to ruling yourself first. Silence, strategy, self-control. That is the path of the untouchable. Step into it. Build it. Live it. Let the world test you and watch as nothing and no one can ever shake you again. Because the moment you own your mind, you own everything.